Hello knockouts, TonyaTko here, and today we're going to be talking about how some of the drama that we have in our lives are caused by us either on a subconscious or even on a soul level. Previously on the TonyaTko show, I showed you some hidden camera footage from one of the worst nights of my life traveling. Last night was one of the worst nights of my life traveling. Okay, look. This is the way the property looks. Where I was filled with a lot of angst, a lot of fear. I was in a location where the owner was being a little erratic. The bathtub was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The toilet didn't have any water in the tank. The garbage was overflowing with condoms. And I was in a state, I don't know how else to describe it. I was in a state. It was one of the hardest nights, but I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me, because each one of our lives is tailor-made. Tailor-made. All of our experiences are tailor-made exactly for us to be able to resonate with you, to bring the lessons to your life in a way that only you will understand. And what I went through that night and what I have been going through on my journey, oh, listen to me, oh, listen. Listen. What I have been going through on my journey has been tailor-made by my soul. Listen, on a soul level, just for me. Because my spirit knows or has an internal knowing of what it is that I need to go through in order to be able to learn certain lessons. You know, you can read about it in a book. Oh, honey, yes. You can hear it on the screen, but until you live that experience, you won't be able to have the context. There was in the 80s, what was the name of this song? The song was like, experience is a good teacher. I can't get the melody down, but it was talking about how experience is a good teacher, and that's what we're here for on this earth in physical form, because in the other world there is nothing but love. You feel no other emotion but love, and so we're here to feel the gamut of emotions. And I had been reading, listen, I had been reading in self-help books. I read Conversations with God, and I know that when you want to manifest something, you have to feel the feeling of this manifesting. You have to attract it to you. And what you concentrate on is what you draw to you. And it wasn't until I was in that situation that I realized how I was participating in my drama. Because I sat there and I thought to myself, I said, you know what? I don't want any problems. And that's all I kept saying to myself for I don't know how long I've been saying this, but I was like, I don't want any problems. I don't want any problems. But each time that I would book, I would have some sort of problem. Like I had gone to that place earlier in the day and it was supposed to be $13 and it turned out to be $150 a week because he false advertised. And then the place that I was at that night before I went there, I'd only gotten 2 hours of sleep because I was in a hostel, and the person right across from me decided that he was going to turn on the lights and do all of this stuff in the middle of the night. And then the place that I was there before that, so it was like, I kept saying, I don't want problems, I don't want problems, I don't want problems. But problems kept coming to me. And I can say this to you, and you may not get it until you actually have to apply it yourself. But I want you to think, there are two things that I want you to think about. First thing I want you to think about is, what is it that you're concentrating on? You know, there are negative, listen, I write. That's what I'm out here doing. I'm writing books while I'm on the road. I'm writing, and get on my mailing list, TonyaTko.com, so that you can be made aware of first thing when the books come out. But listen, so I write, and you know that you can write a negative sentence to express something that you want to be positive. Like, let's say, for example, let's say you want whole pants, right? I don't know why this example came to me, because this is in my own life, right? Let's say you want whole pants and you were going to write an ad looking for pants, right? You can write the ad saying, I don't want pants with holes in it, right? But you have to remember that the bulk of that sentence is what it is that you don't want. Instead of writing, I want whole pants, or like, let's say, I want a good man. You know, you can say something like, I don't want a man who's going to be bad to me. That's not the positive way to construct that sentence. Instead of just saying, I want a car which will be reliable, I don't want a car which will be unreliable. That second one is the negative sentence, because your focus is on not wanting a car which will be unreliable. Instead of focusing your energy on wanting something which is reliable so that you can attract that to you, instead you attract what you don't want to you. So with me saying, I don't want problems, problems kept coming to me because the focus was off. And then I changed my focus. I changed my focus to say to myself, I want a good stay. I want a good stay. I want a peaceful stay. Instead of I don't want a problematic stay, I want a peaceful stay. That's what I want. And so I concentrated on that. On a subconscious level, I was saying one thing and hoping for another. What would I do differently if I wanted to have a good stay? If you don't want to have problems, you try to look for situations that don't seem like they're going to be problematic. But what about the flip side of that? I had to ask myself, what would I do differently if I wanted a good stay, a safe stay, a calm stay? What would I do differently? And then on a soul level, I was attracting situations to me. Remember, I'm TonyaTko, I'm your big sister. I'm here for you. Make sure you join my mailing list on TonyaTko.com so that we can stay in personal touch. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, but most importantly, come to my website and subscribe there. So on a soul level, there were certain experiences that could only be interpreted by me for me. But listen to this, here's a caveat. There's some things that we come into this lifetime to learn and to experience. And so different things will come to us. Like let's say, for example, and you have to be careful what it is that you wish for on a subconscious level. Oh, poor little baby's crying. So on a subconscious level, you have to be careful what it is that you wish for, because you could be wishing for some things to support your belief system, and that could be bringing more of that to you. On a soul level, we come into this life with things that we hope to learn, to accomplish. Like let's say, for example, you want to come into this life to learn how to forgive the unforgivable. How do you learn how to forgive the unforgivable unless something seemingly unforgivable happens to you? I have this journal that I bought specifically for this trip. And it's like sometimes these life lessons come to us and they come so quickly and go so quickly that we don't get a chance to really absorb the lesson. So I suggest that you get yourself a journal, and that you, when you learn something, when you have an epiphany, because listen, each country that I've gone through, I've learned something different from each one of the countries. When I was in Guatemala, when I was in Honduras, different deep penetrative life lessons. And it's like when you're in the middle of the lesson, sometimes it doesn't feel good when you're in the middle of the lesson. But it's up to you as a human being to interpret, what is this telling you? And write that out. What have you learned from this situation? Because listen, if you're playing victim, it's hard. It's hard to be able to garner the lesson. You have to ask yourself, listen, you are an amazing manifester. You are. And so you have to ask yourself, what is it that you drew this situation into your life to do, to teach, to help expand? Why did you draw this into your life? What did you gain from this? Because even in the hardest of hardships, there's something that you've gained from that. In the hardest of my hardships, there's something that I've gained. As you know, my mother died when I was 19 years old. And in my mother dying, I had to learn a lot of these lessons the hard way, the lessons in life, and that's the title of my first book, Lessons for a Motherless Child. And these are the lessons, the 10 most crucial things about love, sex, and self-esteem I learned the hard way so that you don't have to. And so in my mother passing away and me having to learn these lessons the hard way, I then in turn turned around to give these lessons back to you. This is how I became your big sister. And so there's a blessing in every lesson. So you get a book out and write down what are the blessings that you've learned from different situations. And as they're happening, as you're in the hardship, write it out, because I guarantee you, you'll be able to figure out why you drew that into your life. I guarantee you. Another idea that I came into contact with after this situation was about feelings. You know, and I'm toying with the idea, so you can write in the comments and help me out, because I haven't fully fortified my opinion about this. At one point I thought that feelings were real. And then after that situation, I started thinking that feelings were not real, that feelings are only what you assign to it. For example, in that situation, I was feeling impoverished. I was feeling, you know, the weight of being on a very strict budget, and I was feeling poor. And so what I did was I engaged in behavior that would make me feel rich. It was like I finally understood, if you want to feel a feeling, feel it. What better way to feel a feeling than to feel the feeling of that feeling? It's like, how many times have you said, oh, when this happens, then I will feel a certain way. If this happens, then I will be happy. Once I get my man, then I will be happy. Once I get my divorce, then I will be happy. Once I have children, then I'll be happy. Once I get my degree, I'll be happy. Once I make more money, I'll be happy. And when that situation came, did the happiness automatically come with it? No, it didn't. I did a video about how to end unhappiness now, and about how when I was a teen, I couldn't wait to be in my 20s. Then I came into my 20s, I couldn't wait to graduate from college. Then after I graduated from college, I couldn't wait to get a job. Then after I got a job, I couldn't wait to travel on the road. Then after I traveled on the road, I couldn't wait to come back home. And after I came back home, I couldn't wait. And it was like I was always just having some stipulation. You know, I remember there was a guy who called himself trying to date me. And he decided to say something very negative to me about my weight and about how I need to reserve love from myself until I'm a certain weight. And I said, no, baby. Well, I did drop a lot of weight. I dropped about 215 pounds when I dropped him. Listen, I said, no, baby. My love for myself is not contingent on anything but the love that I have for myself. Listen, baby, it's not contingent on what I look like, what I weigh, how many arms I have, how many legs I have. This is where people get into these problems. They get into these relationships and they have these relationships with themselves, and they're withholding love from themselves until they make more money, until they fit a certain dress size, until their skin is light enough or dark enough, till their hair is long enough, till their teeth are beautiful enough. And you have to listen. You have to give yourself love now, regardless of anything else. No, listen. Love without a limit. No stipulations on that love. Love yourself right now, as you are, right now. Right now. Love yourself as you are. You can make the choice to do that. So I was telling you about when I left that situation and I was on the train, and there was a musician that was on the train, and he was playing his heart out and he was singing, and I went up to him and I gave him 10 pesos. And then that made me feel so good. It was like giving away. It's like you can't give what you don't have. And I did reverse logic. You can't give what you don't have. So I said, listen, I want more. I want to be able to have more. So let me give what I have, because I can't give it if I don't have it. And if I have it to give, then more will come, because I need it to give away. So I want to attract that flow through. So I wanted to feel abundant. And what better way to feel abundant than to support a person in their art, their craft, to give them some money, to give them a blessing. It's like if you're feeling poor, go help the poor. So the first guy, he was playing his guitar and he was singing and he sounded beautiful. I went up to him and I gave him 10 pesos and that made me feel so good. I was like, I want more of this feeling. I want to feel even more abundance. So I happened to walk through in the underground train here, the subte. And there were these two musicians that were playing and they had their box up there, and one guy was playing the drums and the other guy was playing the guitar, and the music was so beautiful. And I stood there and I danced and at first I tipped them 20 pesos. And then I was requesting songs and I was dancing and twirling and I was having a good time, and I let that feeling off my shoulder, and the feeling that I wanted, I bathed in the moment. Because I felt no better way to feel a feeling than to feel that feeling. And that's what they've been seeing inside the self-help books all of this time. So I danced and I felt that feeling and I felt what it felt like to be abundant. What would I do if I did not have money issues, if I was not concerned with money? What would I do? How would I behave? And I decided that I wanted so much more of this feeling that I decided to tip them 100 pesos. I decided to tip them 100 pesos. First I gave them 20, then I gave them another 100, and I felt abundant and I felt good. I felt amazing. I felt rich. I did. I felt, oh, I can't describe the feeling. Go out and do it yourself. I'm telling you, I can't describe how amazing it felt. I felt like I was on top of the world. And trust me, I don't have it like that. But I had that day, and I said, you know what, let me support the arts. And it was beautiful, and I felt good. And I felt good. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to invest in making sure that I have someplace safe, someplace quiet. And I'm going to tell you something that's embarrassing. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that's embarrassing. Bear with me, okay? When I was, so many of you are saying, oh, Tonya, come back home. You need a travel partner, blah, 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 right? And so that night that I was in that situation, right? Sorry, it's painful for me. That night that I was in that situation, I wished that I had a man. First of all, I knew he would not have behaved that way with a man. And if there were a man present, men are different than us. Like, the money meant a lot to me because I'm like, I need to make my money last. But I know that if I were with a man, that the man would be like, because you see, there's something different about men, because men know that the stakes are high when they get into disagreements with other people, and their lives can be on the line from the confrontation. So men are not as inclined to engage in confrontations over things that could be considered petty. Just pay it and done. This is the thing that's embarrassing to me. I wish that I had a man that night, because I know that if I called up my man would try to solve the problem. If I had my man with me, he would just go ahead, pay the money, we'll leave in the morning, no problems. And if I called up my man on the phone, I know that my man would say, Tonya, I got you. Get in a cab, it doesn't matter how much it costs. Go to the Marriott, blah, 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 it doesn't matter. I got you. We're getting you out of that situation now. We're getting you out of that situation stat. And I know that if I had a man that he would do that. And I thought to myself, okay, why is it that I am not willing to do that for myself? How can I expect for a man to do that for me? Because I've talked with you all before about treating yourself how you would want a partner to treat you. How would I want a partner to treat me in that situation? Any man who's worth his grain and salt would be like, honey, we're getting you out of that situation right now. Done! Done! Like, we're getting you out of that situation right now. It's over. Situation is over. There's a situation that you don't like, that's not comfortable to you. There's a situation that you're in that you need to get out of. Done. It's done. Because you're his girl. He wants you to be safe. He wants you to be taken care of. He's concerned about you because you're out there on the road. So if he's not there with you, and you know what, so if I had a man, I know that he would get me out of that situation quick, fast. And so I wish that I had a man so that he could be like, you know what, Tonya, baby, get in the cab, I got you, I'll meet you here, I'll meet you there, don't you worry, or I'll take care of that guy. I mean, how many women wouldn't love to hear, don't you worry, baby, it's taken care of, I got you. Every woman wants to hear that. It's an amazing feeling when you have somebody who got your back. But why is it that we don't have our own backs to the same extent? Why is it that I didn't have my own back? That if I had a man, he would have my back. Why didn't I have my own back? Sometimes we're the last person that we take care of. We take care of everybody else before us. So I had to ask myself, Tonya, what would you do differently if you were your man? And if I were my man, I would treat me to a nice place. And so I decided to treat myself to a nice place. And I was really excited about coming here. And then I get to the place and it's more games. More games. It's like, then they started trying to charge me this other illegal rate, and it's like just more games. More games. So it's like this place is $37 a day. I'm going to tell you how much, according to their calculations. They would have taken the price from what was supposed to be $37 a day to $53 a day. And it's like there's a huge difference between the legal rate and the illegal rate. So now I am in a different state. I'm like, something is still not right. Something's not right. So I need to do what I need to do to get right, and I need to get out of here. So many of you have asked me to start a crowdfunding, and so I'm going to start my crowdfunding. I'm going to put it up. I don't have much to give while I'm on the road, but I'm going to do some thank you notes and some video shout outs and stuff. You have to go to the crowdfunding page to see. Make sure you're on my mailing list, TonyaTko.com, to make sure that you don't miss anything, because sometimes the pop-up doesn't come up on YouTube or whatnot. But make sure you subscribe to my personal mailing list, which is TonyaTko.com, and just put your email address in over there. You get a free book. I give you my free guide, How to Truly Love Yourself and Heal All Trauma. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trust in the abundance of the universe. I'm going to trust in the fact that I'm going to be all right, and I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put the crowdfunding out there. I'm going to make another video for that, so you'll be able to see that. This is just a personal update between you and I. So have no fear. Have no fear. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to do what it is that I need to do to take care of myself. I want to go someplace warm, because like it's becoming winter time now in Buenos Aires, so I want to go someplace warm. I want to be someplace Spanish speaking still. I want to be close to the ocean. I want to be in my own space. I don't want to have roommates. I want to be able to just write. I want to be able to cook, so I need my own kitchen. And so I'm going to let you guys vote on where I should go, but the voting will happen on the crowdfunding page. So you give a little donation and then you vote where it is that I should go next, and then we'll go from there. So listen, I feel so much better after talking with you all. If you see that I haven't made a video in a week, please come tap me on my shoulder, either on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, and especially on my website. I get those messages most often, so if you come to my website and send me a message, and just be like, hey Tonya, you all right? Because if I'm not making a video every week, there's something is not right. And this week I didn't make the video because my spirit was feeling so low. It was like, you know, my spirit was just feeling so low, and I was trying to get back up in good spirits before I made the video, but days and days and days kept passing, and I was like, you know what, I could have just made the video already, and I could have made a follow-up video, you know. So as you see, I took out my braids, and I'm really loving my teeny weeny afro being out. I'm happy because my head feels so free, and I'm really loving it. And so what else? I guess that's pretty much it. I would love to hear from you. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to be honest, because I've been honest with you. So I want you to name one thing that you would do for yourself if you were your partner. Or rather, listen, hear me. What would your partner do for you differently than you are actually doing for yourself? What is it that you can do differently to treat yourself the way you would want your partner to treat you? So I told you what I would have done. I want to hear what you would do or what you would do differently. Please write that in the comments. I'm going to be writing back to you all. I have internet now and Wi-Fi, and I'm working on the Indiegogo campaign to get that up. So that should be up Monday. So make sure you're on my mailing list and look for that. So listen, I love you all so very, very much. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for providing this space for me to learn and to grow with you. And thank you for giving me feedback and talking with me and helping me grow while you grow too. This is what it's all about. We're all here to tap each other on the shoulder and be like, wake up. Wake up. Oh, I told you I was going to give you a roundabout. So I'm going to give you a hug, and then we're going to get out of here. I love you. Right here on the bottom of the screen, you'll see my website, TonyaTko.com. And hug me, hug me. I love you all so very much. Hug, 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 hug. Love, 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 love. Okay. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, what? Love yourself. And come to my website, TonyaTko.com. And that's Tonya what? With an O. That's right, TonyaTko.com. Let me give you a roundabout. Okay. So this is, it's a little studio. The kitchen area is over there. The bedroom area is right there. It has little shelves and stuff. There's the kitchen area part right there. But then right outside the window is you can see right down onto the street, and there are people walking past staring at me as I'm trying to make the video. So that's what I was, if you see me distracted during the video, that's what I was looking at. So listen, TonyaTko, and I'm out. Remember to leave your phrase below. Peace.
De su band.
¿En la banda?
Sí.
Señor Gualicho.
I was having a really bad day until I passed by and I heard these guys play, and I decided to just stop and see what was going on and give them some, some support as artists, and also to donate some money to their cause. It's a really beautiful thing, and it makes you feel so rich when you do donate, especially to something like the arts. It goes without saying. Right now I'm in Buenos Aires in the subway, and it's hot down here. I was passing by and I heard some amazing music from these guys back here, Señor Juanico, and I stopped and I just could not leave. Their songs are so amazing with a mix of reggae and a little bit of cumbia. It's just quite perfect.